Hey everybody, today I just want to show everyone how we can prepare a vegetable garden for the winter time. As you can see, my garden is pretty much done for the year. It survived the ravages of Hurricane Sandy and a nor'easter that came almost immediately after the hurricane. So what I'm going to do today is just show everyone the tools that I use for this operation, the materials that I'm going to salvage from the garden beds for reuse next year, and how to prepare the ground for overwintering. So let's go ahead and do it. So in terms of tools, it's pretty basic. You have a pair of gardening work gloves just to make sure your hands don't get scratched, and a pair of trimmers. For me, I chose the Fisker trimmer just because it's very sharp, and as you can see, it's very well made. Solid milled steel, easy to sharp, easy to maintain, and it just works great. So let's get started. Alright guys, so as you can see, most of my vegetable garden right now is a tangled mass of scaffolding, wooden and plastic stakes, string, and dead or dying vegetable biomass. So what we're going to do is basically separate the components like the stakes and the string and the scaffolding that we can reuse, and the biomass that can be composted and fed back into the soil for next year. As I do this, I'm also going to have, keep my eyes open for any crops or edibles that I can get through this process, and I'm hoping to get some. So let's go ahead and proceed. Okay folks, so after doing that, we can see the infrastructural elements of the garden separated from the actual plants themselves. You can see we have the two scaffolds, a bunch of bamboo stakes, plastic poles for the tomatoes, and cordage. Lots of used cordage. As you can see, as I go through and I do this, we keep our eyes open to see whatever little crops that we can harvest, and we actually got a good amount here. We still have some kale, some beans, a few peppers, and lots of these little green tomatoes that I'm gonna put into tissue paper, and about half of them, maybe a little more, will ripen, and we can eat them once it ripens. One thing to note about all of this is that we want to shoot for maximal reuse of stuff that we already got, right? Because if we have to go out and buy new equipment every year for the garden, that's money spent. The point of the garden is to give us free food, give us entertainment, and make us not spend money, because money is hard to come by these days. So as you can see, the wool here, this wool cordage, you can reuse the same cordage in your garden for 3 years before it wears out. And this has already been used for 2 years, and it's got another year of good use left. These plastic poles for tomatoes, they're good for 10 years of use, easy. These bamboo stakes, they weather pretty easy, but even with the weathering, these are good for 4 years of use. Now, right now, they've seen about 3 years, so it's almost time to replace them. And the scaffolds, 10 years, because it's made out of metal. Alright, so once we've actually separated the stuff that we can reuse or eat, we're left with these giant piles of biomass here. And that's what we're going to tackle next. How to compost this biomass properly and prepare the bed for overwintering. And after half an hour of trimming, we're pretty much done. So it was just a matter of cutting all the plants down using those shears so that it forms a mulch layer over the soil. The worms will crawl out of the soil and begin eating these plants and turning into compost. One thing that I did remove from each garden bed, though, are the wooden roots. These roots, they suck up nitrogen as they decay, so they kind of affect the fertility of the soil. So we just got rid of that. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you like it, feel free to subscribe to my channel, and please visit my site for more tips and techniques on dealing with hard economic times and saving money. That's it. See you later, guys.